Rivalry TV. We got the WBA, super middleweight champion of the world, Franchon Dezurn.
I'm gonna get you right. You got the first ever undisputed super middleweight female champion in history. I hold the WBA, WBC, WBO, IBF, and the Ring World Magazine Championship. But go off. Franchon Crews Dezurn, also known as the heavy hitting diva.
I had like a whole introduction.
Got a little alphabet soup going on.
And she just took my introduction right off for me and ran with it. I love that introduction. We had a whole introduction I had set for her. I was gonna kind of give a work my. I love your introduction. For all as far as the belts, you guys heard it right there. Of the world, only one. So. And I would say I'm so proud of your accomplishments,
Thank
and
you.
how, as far as you come, as far as thus far you came in your career, first and foremost, congratulations on, being as far as undisputed, and you only being two female, of color, you and Shields in there, that's a huge feat, First of all, how does that feel?
It feels amazing. I mean, I honestly won't probably appreciate it as much until I stop and smell the roses, meaning like, I'm on a beach vacation and feet up, not throwing hands. But I mean, I know that it's very impactful. I know that it's inspirational to men and women. But I'm not finished yet. I'm still hungry.
Hungry, it definitely is. Coming off a fresh, win. Coming off a fresh win. As far as versus Green. But there's a lot of controversy around that fight. I feel you definitely pulled off with a great tough fight. How would you say? How do you feel about that? As far as that fight,
That fight was unanimous. I didn't even really run for the fight. I knew I was gonna win the fight. I told everybody I was, and for me that was like a B minus. But it's under the bridge, and I beat the boogeyman, and she's still fighting people that, I don't know. I ain't even talking about her because I knew what I was going to do. I came, I saw her conquer.
And you conquered.
And she still got to catch up.
Dezurn, you guys heard it. The champ, she's the champ spoken. That's spoken. So I definitely just you conquering all these belts. What's next for you? What's next for Dezurn?
Well, I'm a multifaceted woman. Not only do I throw hands, I also sew. So I have some. I'm a fashion designer. I have Virginia Beach Fashion Week. Yeah, I ring the alarms because it's hot over here. But I have New York Fashion Week coming up later on this month, the 17th of November.
Wow.
Then December, I have a couple of trips I need to make. I'll probably go to a WBA convention, and then I'm looking to get active first start of January, first start of 2025. Bring it in with a bang and show people that I'm really that girl.
Wow. Okay. So before we get back into the boxing, you spoke about fashion. Wow. Okay. So you've been doing as far as fashion, like, are you just kind of sewing, or are you kind of running as far as a fashion line, like a whole fashion brand?
I just do what makes me happy. I've had the honor of creating and designing boxing attire for a few world champions. Of course, Shields. I've done things for Marlena Esparza. I work with Isaac Dalbe. These are like notable champions. You can look them up.
Yeah, definitely.
I work with my husband, Glenn Dezurn. I've worked with up and coming fighters. So that's something, because for me, I used to be kind of broke with expensive taste, and the gear I had didn't match my swag on the inside. So that's one thing I like to do, is give people drip. As far as fashion, I've had a couple major fashion shows right next door at the Hippodrome Theater. I was in 2023 Met Gala.
Wow.
So, and then I debuted in New York Fashion Week this year. So yeah, I'm everywhere.
Wow. That's impressive.
Thank
you seem to me, a woman of many talents, and, very blessed to have, as far as having those talents, So do you plan on looking to, I would say, expand and do things as far as in the fashion field, along with boxing? And do you plan as far as like being so more in the fashion field, along as, as far as fashion lines, I would say like, the ones we see now, as far as do you see yourself like sewing or designing with them as well?
I feel, I'm just doing what makes me feel good. And, I can't box forever, even if my mind and my soul wanted to.
Yeah.
I have other aspirations, and I'm not going to put myself through that. But I do see it as an outlet, because it is a creative expression for me. And who knows? Yeah. Who knows? Will I get that big? I don't know, but I know people like my shit, and I'm fly, so who knows? I just do what I love.
Yeah. Speaking of not only fashion, I've also, heard as far as a singing tip, you seem to have a voice on you, I definitely, what that kind of brought you in as far as the singing, singing something you like, were you growing around music? Was that something you grew around?
Well, actually, me and my big brother who's here tonight, we used to have singing contests, who could hold notes the longest and sit there trying to sing. That was one thing. But actually, singing is my first love, and that's the whole reason I box. Tonight was a great event, and I invited people that were there in the beginning of my journey, and people who's been along on my journey. And my godfather, when I moved to Baltimore, was one of those people, and he said, "You need to lose weight if you want to be a singer." And trying to lose weight got me into boxing. Wow. Now, I've always been a fighter my whole life. Like, wow. I throw hands, girls, boys, equal opportunity, ass whipping. Yeah. But fighting was never new to me. I was a fighter who learned how to box. But singing, me wanting to be a singer, was the whole basis of me boxing. Yeah. And then in 2022, I had the opportunity to have a top 10 single in the UK, pop dance song. So it's full circle. I'm just loving this journey. It's crazy.
Might be the first boxer ever to come out of her own single.
You know what? When my pro debut, I came out to my own song wearing my own clothes. I ain't had no fans like that, so ain't nobody miss. But this next one,
definitely have it. Speaking of this next one, man, I wanted to kind of slim away from boxing, but you kind of brought as far as the next one. Speaking of the next one, a lot of people, having such an impressive career, a lot of people are looking at you as far as seeing you. Not only defend your titles, but also they're also looking to see you kind of defend some fights that some people feel like you want to, including me myself, having some depth as far as tough fights, including one with Savannah Marshall, So how do you see yourself? Is that a fight you see you and your team? You guys see yourself kind of?
I like that you do your homework. I'm enjoying it. Thank you. With Savannah Marshall, people talk what they want to talk, but you see who's still here. And I don't give a fuck if you got the belts or you got the bag. It's the principle. I'm not a coward, and I don't think she won that fight. But you see she not boxing no more. She don't want to fight no more, whether it's me or whatever. But after you fight me, you're not the same. It's the truth. So if that opportunity came, I definitely want to run it back with her. But I feel like a lot of girls ain't got the stamina. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I should stop. But and my heart won't let me. And I do know that I'm one of the greatest. And I'll fight some of these new girls out the Olympics. I'll fight some of these old girls. I'm just trying to throw hands.
Yeah. So that's what the fans are definitely here to far see as well. So being ranked as far as like you basically ranked top 3 in all
Yeah.
And so do you I know people are definitely looking to see another fight with I know people are looking to see you. I feel like people felt this fight was early on in your career, but you definitely beating some of the top in your weight class, like you said, like as far as the green, and what's the fight like later down the line with Clarissa Fields again? I would say later down the line. Do you guys see a fight like that come happen in summer 2025 or fall time?
That would be beautiful, and I have so much respect for her. People get it twisted because we're very close. You have to understand, before it was the Clarissa Shields, it was Franchon Crews, now Dezurn. And we have that respect, but we still competitors. And we liken ourselves to Venus and Serena. They love the hell out of each other, but if you ever see them play, it's like, I want to win. Yeah. So I believe if anybody can fuck with her, it's me. Because people can say, I'm not technical, I'm not this, but I can fight. I'm not to be played with, and I'm going to give it all I got. You know what I'm saying? So that's definitely a fight I want to work towards in 2025 because she's the GOAT. And what other way to prove your greatness is to fight somebody else who's great. I'm not here to fight cab drivers a la Green or people who was in retirement for 2 years, people who used to be featherweight champions. I ain't fought nothing but dogs when I had the opportunity. I fought steroid cheats who I know was cheating. I fought Clarissa my first fight. I fought heavyweights. Like, I know who I am. I know how I'm built. So that's the type of fight I want to fight. Push myself. Bernard Hopkins is my mentor.
Yeah.
He got better with time.
Yeah.
I'm young enough to learn, old enough to know, so I'm ready.
So, you know, as far as discussing just, you know, the general boxing world, you know, what do you who do you consider as far as, like, you look at as far as the male division, you know, who would you consider as far as, like, your top? I would consider your top 10 right now, male pound for pound boxer.
Can you not? Don't take that one up yet. Okay, male top. Okay, so from the mature generation, of course, Terrence, Earl. Like, I like people who's proven, and I feel like a lot of these new boxers. I'm not hating. I'm not trying to be like, oh, there's one of them old niggas. Can we cuss? Or like I'm not like one of them old niggas. Like, yeah, back in my day, because I'm not old, but like in my era, you really had to earn it. Like, you had to earn it from building your way up to it. You had to fight the best all the time. I always fought the best in the world. So my standard against other people's standard is very different. And like a lot of guys I've seen, I'm like, you not really him, because why you 302, but I ain't never seen you on the team. I've been on Team USA basically my whole career, coming up through the amateurs. But there's a lot of young guys that are like, they give me reference of a complete and old school tested fighter. And I feel like once the new age goes through something like adversity and they survive, it shows like, okay, now we could play. Because everybody's so stuck on protecting their or looking cute for Instagram or looking cute in the fight. Like, just fucking fight. But there's some talent. I like this.
Get some names out to us. Some young prospect that you will give some, you know, some light on right now.
My husband is like that. So I like Ray Savage. He's a dog. I like him. He's a very sweet person. Glenn, where he at? Oh, sorry. See, I watch with him. I'm into boxing, but like, I like Ray Savage. Who else? Now you put me on a spot.
I mean, but let me give you some names out there. You know, we got Ray Savage. We got. Let's look at some.
Shakur, like Shakur, I can't like.
Yeah, let's look as far as Shakur. I mean, he's not really, I would say, prospect. He's more content. He's champion.
Yeah,
he's been a champion.
You know, Tank.
But as far as prospect, the prospects coming up. Let me give you some prospects right now. So we got Keyshawn Davis. You know, we got Bruce Carrington.
I like him.
You know, we got Troy Isley.
Like him.
You know, we got on the female side, Nara Jones. You know, sure from where she's in the Olympics female side. She's boxing.
You know what's for Troy when he was a pup?
Yeah.
I sparred, and then he sparred my husband. This is when he was smaller, because he big as shit right now. But when he was smaller, he sparred my husband, and my husband do not. He's a bantamweight, but he don't hold back. So he was working with him. And Troy held his own, and then when he got out, he cried, right?
Yeah.
Because he was a pup.
Yeah.
And then he went up to Pennsylvania and fought in the youth and knocked the boy out. Uppercut, boom, knocked the boy out. So I feel like every fighter has to go through that fight to become refined. And then his journey, you know, with losing his coach and transitioning coaches and, you know, working his way to be the cream of the crop.
Yeah.
But go ahead, give me some more names.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
I have history with a lot of people, and I don't say much, but I know.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Those are some definitely as far as names. So, you know, we got if we're looking at like different, you know, as far as you're looking, you know, different, like I would say boxing promotion. You know.
Yeah.
We got, you know, as far as this guy, he's a champion now. You know, Raymond has fought Nick Ball. You know, he's pretty smart, but I don't consider him a prospect as well. So if we talking about prospects as well,
he's very dirty a little bit though.
It was a very rough fight. It was a very rough fight. Speaking of rough fights, who was your toughest fight?
The toughest
up to date
I've had, I will say, when I fought the steroid cheat. That was a tough fight mentally and physically, because I'm like, I know what I can do, and I'm doing it, and it's not working. Like, and that was like one of the first fights I ever got, like hurting, like buzzed a little bit. But also, Clarissa is my favorite fight because she just don't stop, and I don't want to talk about her all the time, but it's just that's exciting for me. You see, I'm smiling because I get excited because it's a something that gets me up. You know what I mean? Savannah, I had a lot of things working against me, like my coaches didn't come, and I'm used to fighting overseas, but it was just a lot of stuff leading into that fight. But she was, if I would have calmed down, I would have definitely pulled it out unanimously. But I believe those two fights was my toughest fights.
Copy. Speaking of coaches, you train by Barry Hunter and Coach Boog, but I see you've also worked with a few as far as different coaches. How is your relationship like with training, working with Barry and Boog, and then
Yeah, so what's beautiful is that I built the gym in my home, and my husband's been my main trainer partner for like ever. So, and it's hard because I live outside of Baltimore and I commute down to DC, and then I work a lot too. So sometimes I can't make it down. So it's me and him thugging it out. But I believe when I do get to work with my coaches, it's a winning combination. They know how to say. Barry has a gift of motivation. Book has a gift of support. You have Jamie who has a gift of encouragement. You have Juice who's just going to piss you off enough to make you go beat somebody up. So I do believe like in big fights, it's a winning combination. I've been there for many years, and I like working with people who's used to winning, put it that way. But I've been established champions for a long time, so I think it's a good combination.
Wow. Favorite food?
Pancakes.
Favorite TV show?
Cartoons.